All right, there we go. Okay, so to start off with, what we'll do is we'll just warm ourselves up a little bit with the A major scale. And I'll share the screen in a jiffy, but I want you to just go through just the 1-octave A major scale. This is going to be about getting your fingers stretched out a little bit and about doing a little bit of repeated notes. But first, we'll just do nice and slow. We'll hit the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And you can use the same finger if you want here, or you can alternate or use your thumb, whichever. Okay, so 2. Okay, now 2nd string open. 2nd fret. 3rd fret. 1st string open. 2nd fret. 4th fret. 5th fret. I'm using my baby finger. You may feel like you need to go, okay, and that's okay. But I'm going to keep my baby finger there, and I'm going to go back down to the 4th fret, 2nd fret, open, okay, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Okay. And there's different positions, of course, for this. This is the open position scale. Now what I want you to do is take that same scale. I want you to play two plucks on each note. So whether you're using your bunny ears or your thumb, or maybe thumb and finger, like that, okay, or maybe, or whatever works for you. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2nd fret on 3rd string, 2nd string open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1st string open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, open, 3rd string or 3rd fret, 2nd string, 2nd fret, open, and 3rd string, fret 2. So now, oh, whoops! Oh, I hit the microphone. Oh, I bet you that sounded good. We're going to take that same scale and we're going to do 4 plucks now. So we're going to speed it up a little bit with this sound. Okay, so the same scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2nd string open. 2nd fret. 3rd fret. 1st string open. 2nd fret. 4th fret. 5th fret. 4th fret. Here comes 2nd fret. Open. 3rd fret and 2nd string. 2nd fret. 2nd string open. 3rd fret. Or sorry, 3rd string. Fret 2. All right, so that gets your main picking fingers warmed up a bit. Now what I didn't do was share that. I'm going to share that now because we're going to take a look at so we just played the top scale here. Okay, what I want us to do now is play you know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to play the bottom scale. We're just going to do the whole shebang. Just bring it on. Okay, so we'll divide it, kind of divide and conquer. There's the lower octave that I've highlighted there. And then the overlap, of course, is that fret 2 on the 3rd string. Here's the higher octave that we've already played. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll leave that part highlighted and we'll start on string 5, open. Use whatever you want to pluck. It's just about getting your fingers moving around, okay? We'll do 2 plucks per. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. 5th string open, 2nd fret. Yeah, right on. 4th fret. Good. Next one, open, 2nd fret, 4th fret. Now reaching back to the 1st fret of string 3. Good. Now we're home free. 2nd fret, 2nd string open, 2nd fret. Good. 3rd fret. Nice. 1st string open. Good. 2nd fret, 4th fret. Right on. 5th fret. Okay, back down. 4th fret, 2nd fret, open, 2nd string, 3rd fret. Good. 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, shifting back to the 1st fret, big stretch to the 4th fret on the 4th string. Good. 2nd fret, right on, open, 4th fret, 2nd fret, and open. Yes. Hey, that was pretty cool. Nice nice kind of position change there, right here where you have to stretch for that 1st fret. You did a nice job there. You know, ultimately you could play this first part of the scale with your 2nd finger and your 4th finger. So your index finger's ready to go for the 1st fret on the 3rd string. But either way gets you there, right? Whatever gets you there comfortably and smoothly, I think is really what matters for this scale. So let's play through it one more time, and then we're going to have a talk about rolled chords, and it's going to be a good little technique lesson, I think, today. And then I'll show you the final copy of Silent Night that I did out. All right, so 2 plucks per. 1, 2, 1, 2. 5th string open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, right on, 4th string open, good, 2nd fret, 4th fret, nice, reaching back for that 1st fret, 2nd fret, good, okay, 2nd string open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1st string open, 2nd fret, nice, 4th fret, 5th fret, back down to 4, to 2, ah, look at us go, open, okay, 3rd fret, good, 2nd fret, open, okay, yeah, good, position change, yeah, 1st fret, reaching for that 4th fret, on that 4th string, I'm going to wait for you, good, yeah, 2nd fret, right on, then open, now the 4th fret on the 5th string, good, 2, open, nicely done, nicely done. It's so much fun to play these 2 octave scales. It just feels so good. Just feels so good. So right here, like if you use your 2nd finger and your 4th finger there, it's a really good way to get your hands like employing all your fingers, right? And then you and I made the same position change right here. We put our index finger on the 2nd fret in anticipation of what was coming. So that's really good, right? So we flipped over to 2nd position when we were there. Sounds like ballet. And you can be all fancy. I also played that in the 1st and 2nd position. Oh, that's awesome. Use that whole scale. Just run through it like that. I mean, you can split it up into the 2 parts or run through the whole thing. Just keep in mind, whoops, right here where you want to be aware of changing position. But that was good. Ah, awesome. Okay, let me take a peek over at. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to hop in on Zoom, let me just copy this. Where did it go? Oh, it's too big. Okay, hang on here. Try again here. There. Okay. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want to hop in on the Zoom link, by all means. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk a bit about rolled chords and how I do them. It's going to be our next thing. Okay, so it's all about, just going to get really close to the screen here. When I do a rolled chord, it's kind of nice to practice it on guitar because you've got a little bit more space there. And it doesn't really matter, you can have your thumb there too. Notice that I've got my thumb forward, right? That sort of thumbs up kind of thing. I know I play with nails. You do not need nails to do rolled chords. Ultimately, look at where my thumb is sitting, right? See that? There's just, depending on the angle of my approach, I will use that thumbnail. But for this, I'm not going to use any thumbnail anyway. Fingertips are what's on the strings, not my fingernails. Those nails just give me a bright finish. Okay, I say that because sometimes people, when they're doing a lot of picking, they want to slide their fingers in, or they want to just grab with their nails. My nails are black, so it's hard to, there we go. So sometimes they just want to grab with their nails to play. It's fingertip. And then the nail just gives it a bright finish. Okay. You know what? I'm going to stay down here so that the camera picks up on things a little bit better. Normally I would be doing that up here though, okay? So when I do a rolled chord, I'm lined up in my full plant. And right now I've just got my thumb on my 5th string, honestly, just because it's kind of nice to have a little bit of that space so you can see what's going on. As soon as I pluck with my thumb, I'm going to try to do it really slow. As soon as I pluck with my thumb, it's like dominoes going. One goes, the other one prepares. See how my thumb's getting ready to go? But look at that pressure on that index finger. Right? It's charged up. As soon as my thumb plucks, my finger's ready. But you can see that I don't have a lot of tension in my fingers when I pluck. Like I'm not really plucking hard. They're pretty relaxed looking. And you can see my hand kind of rolls away a little bit as I do this rolled chord. Look, there's hardly any tension on that finger. I can have more. But what you want to do is have those fingers all lined up ahead of time, and then my hand physically moves like that. One person described it to me as I was trying to learn how to do this as a teenager. It's almost like peeling an orange. You grab the peel here, you go off, and I don't know if that helps you at all, that thought about kind of peeling something off. It didn't help me for a long time, but I can understand why he said that now. So what I would do, Julie, in order to get that rolled chord feeling, I wouldn't worry about making any chord shapes. I would do a full plant, pick the bass note where your thumb feels comfy. Okay, maybe it's up here, maybe it's down here. If it's down here, see how my thumb actually touches my index finger when I go to do a rolled chord? Maybe not everybody does, but that's kind of nice for me, that sense of touch. It doesn't get in the way of the fingertip. Pluck. So it's like an arpeggio, but I'm not plucking them individually. Here's another thought. This, I don't know if this will help or not, but it's different concepts, right? So maybe you could keep those fingers down, pluck. So I don't have a lot of tension in my fingers holding them together, but as I pluck, I shift my hand down, pluck, 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 and then finally let go. Now, I've talked and talked there. What I'm going to do is wait and see if this has helped you, or has helped you. You know, it's not about being able to do it right away necessarily. It's about you know, if you can understand the idea, some of the ideas that I presented there, even if you can't do it right away, if it kind of makes sense and it gives you a building block. If it doesn't, let me try approaching it a few different ways. I just wanted to have a sip of coffee and give you some time to think about it. So let me know, unmute or drop me a message.
It makes sense. I find, is it really important that you're in that plant? Because I find I'll hit my thumb, but my fingers aren't really planted. They're hovering. Maybe I'll hit them and maybe I won't.
I think you need to be in that plant.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's me playing. I've got my A chord and I'm plucking. So there's me just like if I have my thumb ready to go and I don't have my fingers on, it separates the whole thing, right?
Okay.
Like it breaks it apart. So yeah, have them all planted down and then go. See how every time I'm playing that, I plant my chord, plant my fingers. Or I forgot the song. Anyway, every time I'm planting my fingers.
So I guess I'll just need to practice that. But the technique you described makes sense.
Okay, yeah, and having that sense of touch, man, that sense of touch right down there. I would sit there, and so you're just sitting there, you're, I don't know, watching TV or watching YouTube or whatever. Sit there, have your guitar in your lap, touch, roll, touch, roll, and pick different strings to have your thumb on. These fingers do not have to stay here for a rolled chord, but just as a way to really get that feeling. Keep them there. Even when I'm doing a bunch of rolled chords fast. Oh, my finger kind of looks like, look at my fingers look like a wave. That's cool. Every time though, I'm planting my fingers again. Every time.
That's my homework.
And that, so that's, I worked so hard to get that. It took me quite a while, but when you when you get it, it adds that dimension to your playing. It's I mean, there's a strum, right? And then that soft rolled chord sound. Once you get it, you're gonna love it, you know. But yeah, that full plant. There's a lot of techniques that have their root in the full plant concept, you know. So just think about that. Like maybe do a full plant. Think full plant and then roll it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I love rolled chords, but I caution you, it is easy to get rolled chorditis, right? Once you get it, then you want to use it in every chord constantly. Whee! I had rolled chorditis once I got it, and all I wanted to do was play Renaissance music and roll every chord that I could because it was so exciting to finally have it. Oh, okay. So this version of Silent Night I set up with lots of areas to practice rolled chords with, thinking about that concept as well as, oh, well, whatever, you know what, I'll play it for you and you can hear it. Now this is the one I just did this morning. I like to do up my lesson material right before I teach so I've really got everything in mind about what I want to do. Oops. Okay, and then we're going to go up high. 989, did I write this out right? 910, 9. I made a boo-boo, we'll have to fix that. Okay, so I found my boo-boo. Let me share this with you so you can see everything that we got cooking in this copy. It's kind of busy. This is a buffet. We've hit the buffet of options here. What I've done is I've built a lot on the Silent Night level 3.5 that we did last week. Things that I've added. More bass notes. So you'll hear a lot of something coming in on the second beat where the melody is busy. So you can see here, that second beat where you've got the silent part, right? And where the melody rings out, like in the next bar, I've just put a bass note. I've added a bass note on beat 2 and 3. You don't have to do all those bass notes. This is just to show something you could do there. I tried to keep it consistent throughout. And this, right down here, this is my boo-boo chord. It should be 910, 9. It should look like a guitar D chord shape or ukulele G, but played up on the 9th fret. Yeah, just keep right on going. Yeah, you got it there. So I'll fix that before I put it up on my website, but if I forget, just remember that one's got to look like a D chord, not a D7. All right, so the other things that I added in here, it's a lot of just harmonizing the melody, like up here where I've got 7 and 9 together. Whenever you see these chord shapes, just remember the top note needs to have the first finger on it. So therefore, I've got my first finger on my 7th fret there, just starting to kind of pick apart things here, right? So here, first finger's on my 7th fret. I've got my ring finger on my 9th. Do you hear a lot of like blowing and like extra noise from there's something outside, I don't know, some big machine. I'll move my microphone away from that corner. I don't think that's going to help. Something's going on out there. All right, so we've got 7 and 9. And then my index finger goes down to 4, middle finger on the 5 for that one. Yeah, good. And then that next one there, under the A, I've got 5, 5, so I'm barring the 5. So I'm laying my index finger down across the 5th fret on strings 1 and 2. Nice positioning. Yeah, and middle finger on the 6th fret, middle finger arched up a little bit to clear strings 1 and 2. And that's a perfect spot to practice a rolled chord. Now, popping down to the open in 2 can be tricky. I put it in there so that we have different options, right? Did you hear that little glissando I did? I would keep my middle finger, the one that you used on that 6th fret there, I would keep it down maybe, and then use that to shift positions down to the 2s. So I'm going to stop sharing so you can watch my fingers as I do that. Okay, so here I am up on 5 and 6, right? I've barred. Now, for people that are new to barring, you want to avoid having that little finger crease right there on your 1st string. See how I've avoided that, right? My finger crease is sitting out there. I do that so that I don't feel like I have to press down extra. Okay, got my finger there. Play. I'm going to do my rolled chord just because. Okay, so I went 5 and my middle finger. That's what I'm doing there. There we go. So you don't have to, but it can be a way to guide your hand, keep your hand close to that fretboard, right? Now the next part, oh, I really got busy with adding little chordal shapes in here. 1st finger just stays on that 1st string all the way through. That's with 2 and 3, and then up to 5 and 7, 4 and 5. Good, yeah. And then down to 2 and 3. Okay, you got your 4 and 5. Good, down to 2 and 3 there. Nice. Middle finger can shift down to that 2nd fret. And then you can keep that middle finger anchored where it is. Just pivot over to get that 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Nice. Okay, now back up. Bar 13, we're on 7 and 9 there. And then shifting up to 10 and 12. I'll wait for you. So you got your 7 and 9. Yeah. Now up to 10 and 12 with index and middle finger. And then just shift that down to 7 and 9. Good. Carry on down to 4 and 5. And then we've got under the A, 5, 5, 6. And it should be 9, 10, 9. Find your 9, 10, 9. And I wiggle my fingers there. I do a little vibrato. Oh, yes. Now look at that next line here. What I did was I changed it to show you different options. And this is where use it or use other levels, right? I barred on my 5 there. I did my 5, 5, 6 bar. And then I just plucked the notes where they were. 5, 6, like that. And then my E chord. I'm going to do it slower there. So I've got under the E, I've got the opens in the 1. I might reach up with my 3rd finger and 4th finger to get the 3rd and 4th fret. I might use middle and 3rd. And then back down to open in 1. Whatever fingers get you there for the O, 2, 2. Could be a bar, could be whichever fingers. And then that little bit I put at the end is just a little fancy. With a little glissando from the 5 to the 10. I think glissando from 2 to 5 too. Oh yeah. And then what I should have added was a fifth string open. Boom. So that you have two, two, there goes the truck. Oh, it's a big rig. It's about to get quieter. The rumbling's gone. So that's kind of a quick introduction to it. Now let's go back and let's play through it a little bit, line by line. And again, this is a good way for you to practice your rolled chords, should you feel so inclined. Okay. The bottom line, we'll work it through. We'll work it through. All right. Let's go up to the beginning, and you can see the first two bars, like in other copies, their first two bars are identical to the next two bars. There's no difference between them. Okay. So what I'm going to do is keep my index finger on fret 2 of string 3, and I'm going to use that as my pivot point. So I've got my index on string 3, fret 2, my middle on fret 2 on string 2. The only thing that might hinder me at all is making sure that my middle finger doesn't touch my first string. If you feel that it does, tip your hand up a little bit so that that finger can clear the first string. Or, you know, here's another thing that people sometimes do is they, watch this. Let me just stop sharing for a minute here. All right, so options. Okay, here I am sitting here with my nice wide neck guitar. But if your neck is narrower, you may need to dip your fingers that way a little bit. See how like I'm sitting like this to play? But if I had a skinnier neck, I may need to make more of a C shape with my fingers. Okay, tip them out of the way just a little bit. And you can see too that my middle finger is good buddies with my index finger, leaned right up against it. And see how like I'm sitting like that, but I may need to pivot my hand back to get that. So don't worry about having to change your hand position, your angle as you play. Feel comfortable moving, okay? Here we go, let's try that. I'll do the first bar. I'll do the first two bars nice and slow. 1, 2, and 3. So we got our chord, fifth string open, 2 on the first string, and now the next bar where we're plucking 2 and 2 and the fifth string open, 6th string, 5th string, and then we repeat it for bar 3. So those top 3 strings in the 5th string, 2 on the first string, and then strings 2 and 3 in the 5th string, 6th string, 5th string. How's that feeling with clearing that first string? It's okay. So now we're going to go to that second line. We're lined up with frets 7 on the first string with our index finger, 9 on the 6 on the second string. Good, yeah. And we've got our 6th string open. Pluck the 6th string again. Hit that little 2-note chord. Whoops. And down to 4 and 5 with our 6th string. Boom, boom. From there, under the A, we've got that partial bar with the 5 and the 6. Oh, good, yeah. And the 5th string open. Pluck the chord again. Shifting down to 2 and 2. Good. And I'm just keeping my middle finger there on that 3rd string because that's the closest one I have, right? And I can use that 5th string open as my opportunity to reposition my hand if I need to. Like if I need to move early, that's a perfect spot. Watch this. And now we're on the 3rd line. We've got our index fingers going to stay in that 1st string, right? Good. And up to 5 and 7. 4th string again. Good, okay. And middle finger shifts down to that 2nd fret on the 2nd string. Nice. Good. I forgot to write my repeat markers in on the 3rd line, Julie. This line we have to play twice. Okay, let's play it again. There's always something. Okay, let's play that line again. So back to the D there at the beginning of the third line. Up to 5 and 7. Now to 4 and 5. Good. Good, right on, down to the second. And then 2 and 2. Now we can go on. Up to 7 and 9. And then up to 10 and 12. Good. Down to 7 and 9. 4 and 5. And now the fancy with 5, 5, 6 under the A. Up to 9, 10, 9. You're there? Nice! Okay, let's go down to that bottom line now. The 5, 5, 6. Pluck that second string, and then the third string. Good. Under the E. And then now we've got 3 and 4 on strings 2 and 3. Yeah. Good. And then under the A, open 2, 2. Right on. And then our fancy pants, little 5, 10. Fifth string open. Boom. Yeah, right on. Did you hear Finn bark? He's barking in his sleep. All right, so I'm going to play through this again. We'll just get comfortable with it and think about spots where you can add things like the rolled chord idea, right?
Can you quickly just go over the fingering in bar 17 and 18?
Oh, absolutely, because that's a busy couple bars, right? Okay, so I've got at the beginning of bar 17, I've got my bar chord shape. So I've got my index finger across 5 and 5, middle finger sitting there on the 6th fret. I leave that down for the whole bar. I play it, and then I'm just plucking that second string 5th fret with my middle finger, and then that 6th fret still sitting there, and I pluck that with my index finger. Okay. Because it's already still there. Now I'm just going to shift my finger down, but I'm going to go with my index finger on my 1st fret. Now I have to say my hand's not feeling that hot today. If my baby finger was feeling better, I'd use 3 and 4. Fingers 3 and 4 on frets 3 and 4. But my finger's really sore today, so I'm using 2 and 3. The only thing I wouldn't do with the fret 3 and 4 chord is I would not use my index finger, because I want to be ready to reach back with that. Okay. So ultimately, 1st fret, 1st finger. If you can do it, frets 3 and 4, use fingers 3 and 4. And then reach back to the 1st fret with your index finger. And then whatever fingers get you there for your A chord. Probably I would do, because I've used my index finger on the 1st fret of my 3rd string, I would use my 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and my middle finger would land on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, just so there's no breakup of the melody there.
That again.
I would use my index finger on the 3rd fret of the, my index finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then under the A, middle finger would land on 2nd fret, string 3. You know what? Let me start that again, because I think I need more coffee. I'm talking about all my fingers and I've forgotten what they're called. All right, here I am. I've played with my index finger on the first fret of the third string. In order to make for a smooth transition, I'm putting my ring finger on the second fret of the third string, middle finger on the second fret of the fourth string. There, I did it. I said it right. Ah. And that's just so there's no breakup of the melody right at the end. See, that's what I go. I'll stop sharing the screen and I'll show you a close-up of my fingers while I do that. So I'm playing like this. So that way I've got that note ringing out, the first fret here, until the very end, right? Until the last possible moment before I hit that final chord. So there's no, I'm trying to avoid that little blip. It's interesting how persnickety I get about things like that, but it pays off. That's the thing. It makes it just flow. All right, more coffee needed, clearly. Can't even talk. Don't know the names of my fingers. Oh, boy. A lot of the stuff in the first line, I think, is going to be, like, technically not really a big challenge because it's building just another step up. And here, I feel that the second line isn't too bad either because you're used to doing double stop plucks. The shift from here to here is the thing to watch, watch out for, right? But if you have that glissando kind of can add a lot, hey, to make it that. The trick to do that is you've got your bar chord down, 5, 5, 6. And I lift up my index finger, but I keep the pressure on my middle finger as I go. But you don't have to. I mean, you can just go. And that's okay too. Line 3, once I put those repeat markers in, they'll look nicer. Line 3, the secret to that being smooth is with the first 2 bars, keeping that index finger on that first string the whole time. Did you hear that glissando that I did from the first bar to the second bar? So there's going to be continuity of melody, even though, I'll show you how I'm changing my finger in there. Okay, watch this. Watch this middle finger here. Okay, so as I change that position, I lifted it up and placed, right? But this finger stayed down to try to make it as smooth as possible. Just, again, so often I say it, like, you try to imitate the human voice, right? Like, not having it be choppy if I can avoid it. And then the next line is very similar with that. It's just you're moving into a different territory on your fretboard, right? I think I might do the same thing there. I might lift up my ring finger for repositioning, even though I'm coming back down and using my ring finger again. Yeah, I might. Let me show you, like, once you're comfortable with those chords there, under the A there, okay? Once you're comfortable with that, you might want to pluck the chord And then what I did was I plucked the cord, and then I played strings 2, 3, 2, 3, up to 9 and 10, strings 2, 3. Depending on how you feel about it, just a way to go drop those little notes down like little stars in the night. And take your time. But it's add your own feel into it, right? But first off, get comfortable with those changes. So usually when I play that A section, I tend to break it apart in that I have my bar on 5, the double 5 and 6, and I go up. Now I'm still, there's a little bit of a glissando that I do with my middle finger again as I change shape. But another way that you could do it if you wanted to is to bar to your 3rd string on that 5th fret. Yeah, and then put your middle finger down, still on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. You play that, and then when you shift up to your 9th fret, see how your finger's covering all those 3 strings, and then you put your middle finger down on the 10th fret. I've never done it that way just because I don't know, it just hasn't been comfortable for whatever reason. But it's another option if you do want a bar across to your 3rd string. Just start it on the 1st A, yeah, and then just shift up, barring on your 9th fret, then drop your middle finger down on the 10th fret of string 2. And I don't know why I haven't done it. I think maybe I just learned it the other way and I kept it that way. Yeah. So it's a different option, right? Depends on how people's fingers feel, what works for you, right? That's a big thing. What works for me might not be the same as for you. Yeah, different. Yeah. Oh, you like that one? Yeah, there you go, right? And then what you can do is you can still carry that same feeling right back down to your 5th fret. Depending on how your fingers feel. Oh, it feels kind of nice now that I've tried that. Ooh, I think I'm digging it a little bit more now. Yeah, I'm into it now. Okay. So this is the thing, right? There's different options for playing it. You decide what feels right for your fingers. So you're liking the barring across the 3 strings?
Yeah, at first I didn't understand what was on the first string, but then I'm barring.
Yeah, isn't it neat? Yeah. So that when you get that copy, you may want to make a note to yourself about that then, about just laying your index finger across that. Then you get more of that right? Did you hear all the swooping up there? Now what I did that time, let me break it all down there. I'll keep the music up so you can see. So to recap, I kept my bar across 3 strings here on the 5th fret, carried up to the 9th fret, doing that bar across the 3 strings. And again, this little 8 here should be a 10. Just pretend it's a 10. And then I kept that bar back down here on the 5th fret, played it as written, did my little bit under the E, where this time I did use fingers 3 and 4. Okay, and then when I hit that A, under the A, the 0, 2, 2, what I did right away was I used my baby finger to play the 2, and I ignored this first 2 here because this on the fancy little ending, because that 2 really is connected to here.
Yeah.
Right? So then I played my A chord, and then I just went on the second string, 2, 5, 10. There we go. That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so where you feel comfortable practicing rolled chords in this song, I would draw a little wiggly line, like right next to the chord. Do you see where my mouse is up at the top there? Whoops. Like right next to this chord here, just to the left of it, so the very first chord, right, the 022 here, just to the left of that chord, I would draw a little wiggly line going down vertically to indicate that you're playing that as a rolled chord. Yeah. Or wherever you want to do it. Here I'm not doing the rolled chord every time, even though I still want to. Whoops. Now repeat that line. I'd played through the song a few times. And I did do a couple different things here. Like here, I played, and then I tossed in a bass note just before I played the 3 and 4. I kept the rhythm, even though it's not written like that, I kept the rhythm the same as what I would do up here in the first bar, because I tend to like that feel more. There's variation on top of variation though. It goes on and on, right? But you may want to do that. That's, more and more and more, right, that you can do. All right, I am going to stop sharing this now. And for my folks that are watching me on the live stream, thank you very much.